Have you ever felt like you're not living your true self? That you're putting on a mask, hiding parts of yourself to fit into society's expectations? If so, you're not alone. This conflict within us, between the person we present to the world and the deeper truths of who we are, is a universal human experience. Carl Jung, one of the most profound thinkers of modern psychology, called this hidden side of ourselves the shadow. In this journey, we'll explore what the shadow is, how it shapes our lives, and most importantly, how confronting and embracing it can free us to live authentically. It's time to stop living a lie. Let's dive into Carl Jung's powerful insights on authenticity, the shadow, and transformation. Understanding the shadow. Jung's concept of the shadow is simple yet profound. It refers to the unconscious aspects of ourselves, qualities, emotions, and desires that we suppress because we deem them unacceptable. These aspects might be anger, jealousy, greed, or even vulnerability. They're parts of us we fear others will judge or reject. Think about it. From a young age, we're taught what's good and bad behavior. We learn to hide the so-called bad traits to gain approval from parents, teachers, and society. Over time, this suppression creates a split within us. The traits we suppress form the shadow, and the traits we present to the world make up our persona. The shadow isn't inherently negative. In fact, it contains untapped potential, creativity, and parts of our true nature. The problem is, when we ignore it, the shadow doesn't disappear. It operates behind the scenes, influencing our thoughts, emotions, and actions in ways we don't even realize. Signs. You're living inauthentically. Living inauthentically means we're disconnected from our shadow. Here are some common signs this might be happening. People-pleasing. Constantly seeking validation from others by suppressing your true feelings or needs. Emotional outbursts. Overreacting to situations because unresolved emotions from the shadow are being triggered. Projection. Judging others harshly for traits you deny in yourself. Chronic dissatisfaction. Feeling unfulfilled, as though something is missing from your life. Imposter syndrome. A persistent sense that you're not good enough or are pretending to be someone you're not. These signs are signals from your shadow, urging you to pay attention to the parts of yourself you've ignored. Why we fear the shadow. If embracing the shadow is so crucial, why do we resist it? The answer lies in fear. Acknowledging the shadow means confronting uncomfortable truths about ourselves. We fear rejection, shame, and the loss of our carefully crafted image. Jung argued that this fear is part of the human condition. We want to see ourselves as good and worthy, and facing the shadow challenges that self-image. But by ignoring the shadow, we live in denial, creating inner conflict and self-sabotage. The danger of ignoring the shadow. When the shadow remains unacknowledged, it doesn't vanish, it festers. It manifests in harmful ways, often without our awareness. Projection. One of Jung's most famous concepts. We project our shadow onto others, seeing in them the traits we refuse to acknowledge in ourselves. For instance, if you suppress your anger, you might label others as angry or hostile, even when it's not true. Self-sabotage. Unacknowledged fears or insecurities from the shadow can undermine your relationships, career, or personal growth. Addictions and escapism. When we suppress parts of ourselves, we may turn to distractions, alcohol, workaholism, or endless scrolling to avoid facing our shadow. Ignoring the shadow doesn't protect you, it controls you. How to embrace your shadow. Embracing the shadow is an act of courage and self-love. It doesn't mean indulging in negative behaviors or traits, but rather understanding and integrating them into your conscious self. Here's how. Practice self-awareness. Start by observing your thoughts, emotions, and reactions without judgment. Pay attention to what triggers you. Often, what irritates you in others points to your shadow. For example, if someone's arrogance bothers you, ask yourself, could this reflect a suppressed part of me that craves recognition or confidence? Keep a shadow journal. Write about your triggers, judgments, and recurring dreams. Dreams, according to Jung, are a direct line to the unconscious, offering clues about your shadow. Record them and reflect on what they might symbolize. Own your projections. When you catch yourself judging someone, pause and ask, could this be a part of me I'm rejecting? Bringing awareness to these projections helps you reclaim the energy you've given away. Face your fears. Shadow work requires honesty. Ask yourself, what am I afraid to acknowledge about myself? What qualities have I suppressed? Be compassionate. Acknowledging doesn't mean acting on harmful impulses. It means understanding they're part of you. Seek support. Shadow work can be challenging. Working with a therapist or counselor familiar with Jungian psychology can provide guidance. They can help you navigate the process safely and effectively. Benefits of embracing your shadow. When you integrate your shadow, you step into a fuller version of yourself. Here's what changes. Greater self-acceptance. You no longer waste energy pretending to be someone you're not. Improved relationships. By owning your projections, you reduce conflict and connect with others authentically. Increased creativity. The shadow often holds untapped creative potential, which you can now access. Inner peace. Accepting all parts of yourself, light and dark, brings a profound sense of wholeness. Authenticity. You live in alignment with your true self, free from the need to wear masks or seek approval. Real-life example. Carl Jung's encounter with his shadow. Jung himself underwent a profound encounter with his shadow, which he documented in the Red Book. In it, he describes facing his fears, doubts, and darker impulses. This period of intense introspection allowed him to integrate these aspects and emerge with a deeper understanding of himself and humanity. Jung's journey reminds us that shadow work isn't about perfection, it's about integration. It's not about eliminating your flaws, but recognizing they're part of the complex, beautiful tapestry that makes you human. How shadow work transforms your life. Imagine a life where you're no longer held back by shame, fear, or denial, where you can say, "This is who I am," without apology or pretense. Shadow work is the gateway to that life. It transforms your relationship with yourself, helping you understand that your imperfections don't make you unworthy, they make you whole. By embracing your shadow, you gain the courage to live authentically, pursue your passions, and connect deeply with others. Conclusion: living authentically. Carl Jung's insights on the shadow teach us a profound truth. We can't live authentically without embracing our whole selves. The parts we hide, deny, or fear are not our enemies. They are our greatest teachers. By facing them, we reclaim our power and discover our true essence. So, stop living a lie. Take the first step toward authenticity by turning inward, embracing your shadow, and unlocking the freedom to be unapologetically you. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the depths of the self. If this message resonated with you, share it with someone who might need to hear it. Let's start a movement of authenticity, one shadow at a time.